Hello, everybody. Welcome to Skill 12. Now we are going to be working with adjective clause connector subjects. And okay, so what we need to remember here is that the connector subjects in Skill 12 are similar to the idea of the connector subjects in Skill 10. Remember, I told you that skills 9, 10, 11, and 12 are kind of related. They're related in this way. So the idea in skill 10 was that the connector is the subject, therefore it's not necessary to use or to look for another subject, right? Okay, so we have to remember what adjective clauses are. Adjective clauses, if you recall from skill 12, is the extra information. So this is information that is not necessary, but you can include this information to describe or give more specifics about the object that you're referring to, or the person that you are referring to. This can be done with the thing or the person as an object. For example, the woman is filling the glass. What glass or which glass? The glass that is on the table, right? So this is my adjective clause. If you notice, that is on the table. It describes the type of glass. But if we analyze it, that is going to be my connector. And at the same time, it's going to be the subject of the verb is, right? Which is describing the glass, of course. A woman is filling is my first clause, my first subject, and first verb. Now, remember that this can be split or divided, right? The adjective clause can split or divide the first clause, right? Like, for example, here, this is going to be my adjective clause. The glass that is on the table contains milk. That is on the table is my adjective clause, but the original sentence is the glass contains milk, right? Remember, if we were to eliminate the adjective clause, the sentence would still make sense, right? I could just say the glass contains milk and that's it. But I want to be specific. I want to give specific detail information on the glass. So I specify the glass that is on the table contains milk, right? What glass? The glass that is on the table. Again, that in this case is going to be my connector, but it is also my subject for the verb is, right? Okay, so this is an example of the adjective clause working for the subject, the first one. So this one is for subject. And the first example, obviously, is an example of the adjective clause working for the object, right? The glass is after the verb is filling. So that's going to be describing the object, the glass, right? Okay, so let's look at an example how TOEFL would basically grade this or test this. You get a sentence like this: is on the table, has 4 sections. Okay, so right off the bat, we notice that there are 2 verbs. So what is necessary here? We need 2 subjects and a connector, right? So we already know that we can create a subject, or basically, yeah, a subject for a verb with a couple words, right? So that's probably, it's like an inside or an implicit subject. So let's see, the notebook can't be because this only has one noun, right? One subject, the notebook. The notebook, which could be, we have a subject, we have a connector, and then all of that can be part of the next verb. Because the notebook could be in the notebook, can't because in is a preposition. Okay, so let's try the notebook, which is on the table, has 4 sections. Okay, so in this case, let's remember that we are going to use a connector, but the connector is also going to be my subject. So in this case, which is on the table, right, is going to be my adjective clause. And the original sentence is the notebook has 4 sections, right? So specifically what notebook? The notebook which is on the table. Because the notebook would be incorrect because well, it doesn't make sense, but more than that, because isn't a connector that can be a subject and a connector at the same time, right? Okay, so let's look at what type of connectors can be subject and connectors at the same time. Basically, we only have three. We can have who for people, which for things, and that for people or things, right? And that's it. These are the only three words that can be connector subjects for adjective clauses, okay? If you tell me what's the difference between who and which, well, who is for people, which is for things, but singular, right? Both of these are, we can say singular or as a general rule, and that is going to be for people or things, but plural, right? So that is typically when we have many people or many things, right? Let's look at the example. She needs a secretary who types fast. Who, as we can see, is my connector, but it is also my subject for the verb types, right? And I mean, if you see, it's not really necessary, I mean, to repeat the subject because in this case, who types fast would make reference to the secretary, right? Giving specific information about the secretary. Let's look at the second example. A secretary who types fast is invaluable. So this is for the subject. We have who as my connector, but it is also my subject, right? Okay, so let's practice this with the following exercises. Exercise 12, here we go, perfect. They all fit in the same screen. So each of the following sentences contains more than one clause. Underline the subjects once and the verbs twice. Circle the connectors, right, as always. Put boxes around the adjective clauses. And then indicate if the sentence is correct C or incorrect I. So we're going to do number 1 and number 2, and then I'll let you do number 3 to 10. So let's see. Number 1 says the ice cream that is served in the restaurant has a smooth, creamy texture. So we have the ice cream. In this case, apparently it's going to be describing the subject, right? That is served in the restaurant is my adjective clause. That is my connector, and my subject for the verb is served. And the original sentence is the ice cream has a smooth, creamy texture. So it's correct. Let's look at number 3. The cars are trying to enter the freeway system are lined up for blocks. Okay, so we have are trying, which is my verb. Who or what are trying? The cars. So according to this, this is probably going to be an adjective clause, which is over here, but for an object, right? Okay, so the cars are trying to enter the freeway system. This is going to be incorrect because we're missing a connector subject, right? It could be the cars are trying to enter the freeway system that are lined up for blocks or which are, right? Well, in this case, it's going to be that because it's plural, but it could also be which. So the cars are trying to enter the freeway system. Yeah. No, no, no. This is incorrect, right? It's going to be the cars, the original sentence, see, and this is where it could get complicated. That's not going to be my adjective clause, right? It's going to be this one because the original sentence, so this one is for the subject. So this one is supposed to be the cars are lined up for blocks. So now it's when I would need my connector subject right here. The cars that are lined, that are trying to enter the freeway system are lined up for blocks. Yeah, let's see. Missing connector subject, which are trying, that are trying. I need a connector here, right? Okay, so be careful. Do number 3 to 10. Pause the video, do those exercises, and then we will check them in a moment, okay? All right, perfect. Let's check them. Number 3 says, I have great respect for everyone who on the dean's list. Okay, so have is my first verb. Who or what has? I have great respect for everyone. Who is my connector, and it is also my subject here. So I'm describing everyone, right, who on the dean's list, but what is the mistake here? Exactly. We don't have a verb, right? It's a missing verb, so this one's going to be incorrect due to missing verb. Who is on the dean's list? It could be. Okay. So yeah, this one's going to be incorrect. Okay. Let's look at number 4. It says it is going to be very difficult to work with the man which just began working here. Okay, so we first of all have our verb is, who or what is it. It is going to be very difficult to work with the man, which in this case is going to be my subject, but also my connector, right? Just is just an adverb, so just is just an adverb, so we don't have to worry about that. But the verb is with began, right? Began working here, and it's describing the man, so it's describing the subject. No, the object, sorry, the man, which just began working here. But this one's going to be incorrect. Number 4 is incorrect. Yes, why? Exactly, because which is for things or for a thing, right? And in this case, we are talking about a person, the man. So this has to be who, right? So this one's going to be incorrect because it's an incorrect connector, right? Okay, let's look at number 5. The door that leads to the vault, it was tightly locked. So this one has that right here as my connector subject, right? That leads, so leads is going to be my verb for that. So this is going to be my adjective clause, right? That leads to the vault. Be careful with that it, right? Okay, so was is going to be my verb. Who or what was the door, right? But it's incorrect. Why? Exactly, because we have an extra it, right? An extra subject. So that's what makes it incorrect. Number 5, incorrect. Extra subject, omit if, yeah. Okay, let's go with number 6. The neighbors reported the man who was trying to break into the car to the police. Okay, and this is where we get a little bit mixed up with the passive active, right? So the neighbors reported, the man reported, who or what reported? The neighbors, right? Uh, who is going to be my connector and also my subject, who was trying, yes, was and or was trying, that's the verb. And this is describing the man, right? The man who was trying to break into the car. Yeah, and just up to here, because this is going to be the description of the man who was trying to break into the car. The original sentence, right, is the neighbors reported the man to the police. What man? The man who was trying to break into the car, right? So this one has all the elements and it is correct. Okay, let's look at number 7. These plants can only survive in an environment is extremely humid. Well, it just sounds off, right? Okay, so can only survive is my verb. Who or what can survive? These plants. We have the verb here, which is describing the environment. The environment is extremely humid. But what is the mistake here? Exactly. We don't have a connector subject, right? These plants can only survive in an environment that is, which is, right? So that's why it's going to be incorrect. Okay, let's look at number 8. The boss meets with any production workers who they have surpassed their quotas. Okay, so meets is going to be my verb. Who or what meets? The boss. Who is going to be my connector? And here it's supposed to be my subject, but I have another subject, they, the verb have. Um, this clause is describing the workers, right? So everything is so far so good. But again, we have an extra subject, right? Who they have is just off. So we're supposed to eliminate they in this case. Extra subject, omit they, who have surpassed, right? Because we already know we're referring to the production workers. So this one's going to be incorrect. Let's look at number 9. The sales clerk ran after the woman who had left her credit card in the store. The sales clerk ran. Who or what ran? The sales clerk. Who is going to be my connector and also my subject? And this is my verb, who had. The woman who had left her credit card in the store is going to be my adjective clause because it's describing the woman. And this one is correct. Yes, it has all the elements. Okay, and the last one, number 10, the shoes which matched the dress that was on sale. Okay, so matched is going to be the verb here for which is also the connector, right? And you can see that this type of connector is necessary because of the sentence that it's carrying, right? The shoes which match the dress. Okay, and I think we're just gonna get up to here, right? Because we have another connector here. And then we have another subject because this is, and then I'm guessing this is another, what's it called? This is another adjective clause. So we have another connector subject because this is describing the shoes, I'm guessing, not the dress, but yeah, that was on sale. The problem here is that we have a subject here, the shoes, and we have 2 connectors and 3 subjects. Well, that's almost correct, but here it says that was on sale are also on sale. So if this is describing the dress because it is singular and not the shoes, we still need the sentence, the original sentence, right? The shoes which match the dress that was on sale are 50% off or something, right? Like we need something that's going to finish the sentence. So we're missing the verb for the original structure, the shoes. So this one's going to be incorrect because we have a missing verb. Yeah, for the shoes. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, put it in the comments section. Next class, we're going to be looking at TOEFL exercise, well, at skill 12 for the reading section of the TOEFL test, all right? So have a great day, and I will see you in the next video, okay? Bye.